1 started the season and we continue with Split 2. Welcome to week 1 of season 4 of 2025 here at Oulton Park. Split 2 is our program for today. Split 2 out of 5. And remember, we have replays for all 5 races. And different to Split 1, a more classic intro, so to speak, because I think talking about the key facts of a track 5 times in a row could get tiresome for you, so we mix it up with Split 1 looking a little bit different to the other splits. I hope you are okay with it. Yeah, Split 2. Last time we were here in Oulton Park, Jack Davies won the Split 2 race in front of Eduardo Gonzaga, Daniel Hoffman, Matt Gertuncha and Mausen Cardozo. And before we take a look at the starting grid, I will say just one thing without spoiling too much. Take a look what names were in this Split 2 race. This is all I'm gonna say. It is stacked. And with that, let's take a look how qualifying went. We will see the starting grid and then we will meet back for the start of the race. Like I said, stacked 2,845 for a second split, a new Split 2 record. And ladies and gentlemen, we are racing. No jump start, which is nice. We have seen one in Split 1. And we are off to the race. All 19 drivers started the race, which is also an improvement to Split 1. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the Split 1 race. But now let's focus on Split 2. Linus Kresen in P19. He is rolling up the grid from behind. So far so good. Martin Dale and Isaac Mitchell for P10. Isaac Mitchell we are quite familiar with. Martin Dale is a new name. And Clément Godet in P3 behind Bruno Gaiotto and David Ward. John Duncan in P4 and Tomasz Reisisch in P5. Yeah, it is a stacked field. Tomasz, last season he was on the podium in a top split race, so we have competition here. And as the camera is focusing on John Duncan, you will see the same livery twice in this field, because John and I drive the same team livery. Mist Apex Motorsport will be represented with minor tweaks between them. Maybe it brings us luck. David Ward and Bruno Gaiotto fighting for the lead. So far, a pretty clean first lap. We are in lap 2 now. Down the Cascades. Tomasz to the inside against John Duncan. This is for P4. Yeah, clean. I like it. Split 2, keep going. I like what I see. And if we take a look at the minimap, no one is way behind. I mean, the biggest gap is 0.8 seconds. It's close pack racing as we love it here at the Clio SoF. And Split 2, good start. Jack Davies, he lost a position at the start. He is now in P8 behind his Melons 24 hours teammate. John Cook has disconnected. I mentioned it in the Split 1 broadcast. There are connection issues with iRacing since its latest update, and John had problems, I think even in the Prix SoF, I'm not so sure about it. Either way, Jesus Saavedra going wide. We talked about turn 1 in the Split 1 pre-race thingy. Jack Davies attacking for P7. No success, but he has Ben Wright and Martin Dale behind him. And Isaac Mitchell. These are fast cats. So Jack has his hands full with those great drivers behind him. I mean, Martin Dale is a 2881. He is car number 11 in terms of rating. Let that sink in. David Ward letting a few guys past. He had a slowdown. We talked about this as well in the split one, and this was a prime example. Daniel Hoffman going a bit wide there, but nothing too major. And look at this battle. Jack Davies and right behind him, Ben Wright. So far, I like what I see. We are now in lap 4. Daniel Hoffman fights for P5. The lowest rated driver, but he ain't no slow driver, that's for sure. We have seen it in the past. I mentioned he was on the podium in Split 2 last season with P3. Now we're correct. Martin Dale, P9. Jack Davies, a former Split 2 champion, I might add. He was the Split 2 champion 2 seasons ago. Last season it was John Duncan who is in P3, and Clément Godin now in the lead against Bruno Gaiotto. We have not seen it. If you're not familiar with the name Bruno Gaiotto, we have seen him last season already, but under a different name, so don't get confused too much. It's the same guy, the same fast guy, and I'm glad to share a seat with him at the Mellons 24 hours. Missed Apex loaned out a driver, so to speak. Or loaned in, rather. John Duncan, P3 for the car number... 3,000! And he's car number 9. Can we celebrate it? Neil Todd, he has a new livery. He is in P15 and he almost dropped down to Split 3. This is crazy. This is literally crazy if you ask me. Fausto Castiglioni, we have seen him last season a few times. I remember Tsukuba from the top of my head. And Clément, Bruno, John and David. Oh, and there's touch and Bruno goes flying. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. This it turns worse. Oh, big crash. Big crash. And Bruno is still spinning. Daniel Hoffman is flying. He is still flying. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness gracious. All I need to know to write in my notes is that incident. I don't exactly when that was and what I mean with that. Oh, and Jack Davies. Another incident. He talked about it after the race, that he got no meatball after the big crash, and breaking into turn 1 the car was dead. What a shame. Why is it a shame? For one thing, many great drivers are in the pits and basically out of the race, and secondly, it was an amazing pack race up until that point. This is a real shame. The first 6 minutes up until that big incident were one of the best racing scenes we have seen in the Clio SoF so far. The entire field packed, clean racing, and then one little touch caused pandemonium. Yeah, of course it caused pandemonium. When everyone is so close together, it's just natural that if something happens, something big happens. Linus, he is now in P12. He started from P19. He's attacking Stephen Calvert for P11. Man. And yeah, we of course take a look from multiple angles in the highlights. What happened there? It's a shame. It's a shame. Especially for Bruno, who was fighting for the lead. And little touch with John Duncan. And the rest we saw. But now let's focus back on the race. Linus against Stephen Calvert. Nice battle. Maybe something we take a look afterwards as well. They are fighting hard, but I would say it's fair. Okay, now let's look. There's a car standing there in the turn 4. This is Ben Wright. He was letting the leaders past, which is super fair. And yeah, the big question is now, who has damage, who has no damage? I can tell you I had damage. I was part of this incident, but somehow stayed in P7. Yeah, but there is of course now a huge gap between P5 and P6, 4.8 seconds. Whew! That was intense. Fastest lap so far for Martin Dale. He's in P5, chasing basically the top 4 because it's super close together. Clement, a little bit of a gap between him and David Ward, then John Duncan. Dommage. Oh, it was. That looked like slowdown territory for John Duncan. It was close. We talked about the danger of cutting there in the top split. Oh, someone going wide there. This is Stephen Calvert, who gets past, got passed by Rob Sutherland and Linus Krasen. Yeah, I have not talked about that. We have a father and son combination in this race. Stefan Krasen and his son Linus. They are driving together for the first time. Father and son in Split 2. It's a great story. I love to see stuff like this. Neil Todd, Mr. Split 2, fighting for P12. It's still crazy to me that Neil almost dropped down to Split 3. And Stephen Calvert to the inside. Nice attack. He tries. He's a bit far away, so he does the smart thing, but he stays there. He does not want to give up so easily. Rob Sutherland defending against Linus. Now he lost the position, at least for the moment. So father and son in the top 10. P8 and P10. Dommage chasing John Duncan. And the gap between Clement and David Ward, it was 0.8 seconds. It is no more. 0.2, 0.3. So this could get spicy. Less than 4 minutes. We have so many great battles still, even after this pandemonium of a crash. Late break by Stephen Calvert, but not enough. Neil Todd stays in P12, at least for the moment. Yeah, but take a look at the minimap. The top 5, then big gap to 6 and 7, then a big gap to 8, and basically the rest of the survivors. Let's call it that. But the top 5 are still fighting. Clement, so far he's doing a great job, but David Ward is annoying him, I'm sure. He cannot concentrate to look forward. He has to look at the rear view mirror all the time. David Ward chasing the lead. A win in week 1 would be lovely. But there are 5 cars in a bit over a second. Now David Ward to the outside. He tries it. And who is in the lead? It's Clement. Clement Godet stays in the lead for the moment, but this is intense. Stephen Calvert and Neil Todd also fighting for P12 and back to the leading pack. This is great that we see so much of them. Great stuff. We have a position change for P6. This was part of a slowdown. You see it on the minimap. I remember that was slowdown. And we talked about it. It is faster to cut turn 4, but it's a risk. It is a risk, and John Duncan, we jump right away from it as we now are at Linus and Jesus. I just noticed that Linus and Stefan are driving with the same livery, but in a bit of a different color. Makes it a bit easier for me. Unlike John and myself, who basically drive the same livery, which is cool. I love to see multiple liveries. And oh! John Duncan and Tomasz. That's a loss of 2 positions. And the battle for the lead continues. Ladies and gentlemen, if it wasn't for that huge crash, I would call it the best Split 2 race we have seen in the history of the SoF. Because let's face it, apart from that pandemonium crash, this is a super fair race. Am I wrong? I don't know. I know that we are in the final lap of the race, lap 14, 20 seconds on the clock, and the victory for Clement is not safe. It is not safe. David Ward still has a chance. Martin Dale, maybe he has a chance for P4, but he needs a good double right-hander. Turns 7 and 8 will decide the race, both for the win and for P3. Martin Dale to the inside. He looks... Yeah, he does what he has to do. And like I said, turns 7 and 8 are the deciding factor. He has a chance. To the inside, final breaking point, and we cut away. Why do we cut away to me? Clement wins. That we know. David Ward P2, Tomasz stays in P3, Martin Dale, John Duncan, myself, Fausto Castiglione, and then we wait for father and son. There they are, 8 and 9, Stephen Calvert, Jesus Saavedra, Rob Sutherland, Neil Todd, Jack Davies. No. Jack Davies and Isaac Mitchell are still driving. This was Ben Wright who was lapped. So we are waiting for Jack and Isaac to finish the race. And oh yeah, my car looks not good from that big incident, but we will take a look at it in the highlights. And Isaac Mitchell crosses the finish line, finishing split 2. So yeah, this was an intense race. I loved to commentate it, but that one incident, my oh my. But now we jump to the standings and see how it affects the overall standings. We'll be back. Yeah, what a race this was. What a race. Whew. And now, after all that we have seen, one more look at the Split 2 Championship standing, which of course it is week 1. It's the result we just saw, but still, we have it in there. Just for a moment. Yeah, unlucky for John with the disconnect. Daniel and Bruno being absolutely murdered. Yeah, you will see. A lot of the highlights will focus on that crash from several angles. So, look forward to it. But if we take a look how it affects the overall standings with the new championship scoring system, here on ClioSoF.com, we see Clement and David P9, P10, Tomasz and Martin 12 and 13, John Duncan in 15, myself in 17, and Fausto Castiglioni in P19 to finish out the top 20. But yeah, it is week 1, we don't want to get too much into it or else we would spoiler the ever-living bleep out of it. We don't want that. We want no spoilers for splits 3, 4 and 5, and as you can see, as I'm recording this, we don't have a split 5 championship on the website, but this will change, we will work on it, so it's only a matter of time until split 5 suddenly appears there. And who knows, maybe it's the only time we will have a split 5, maybe we get it a few times, we will see, But now, let's take a look at some highlights, which mostly are that incident, but some other things as well. And then tomorrow, split 3, let's see how split 3 performed. Also a few interesting names I can already tell that dropped down to split 3 that you usually expect in split 2. So yeah, let's see how this will go. I wish you a good day, hope to see you tomorrow for split 3. Clio SoF is running strong. Take care!